It's Tuesday, and Braden knows what that means. It is time for our Class Dojo series. This is actually the last 3-episode series that we have left. After this, we have watched all of the Class Dojo series. So this one is about respect. Okay, we're going to close out our Class Dojo series with respect. As always, we're going to watch an episode, and then there will be discussion questions for you to talk about with your small group. So make sure that you are paying attention to the details so that you can contribute to that conversation. And without further ado, here is episode 1 of Respect.
Every week, Mojo's teacher chooses one monster and names them the Very Important Monster, VIM for short. And this week's VIM is Mojo. Wow! I've never been VIM before, Mojo said. I'd like to thank my agent, my family. What should I do? I could declare myself king. I could declare today my birthday. Or I could declare every day my birthday. That's the ticket. Uh-oh. Mojo's daydreaming made him late to line up for recess. He's gonna be at the back of the line. But Mojo knew his place. Katie, I know you were paying attention and I wasn't, but I'm VIM, so I'll be taking your place at the front of the line. Mojo led the class out for recess. Being important was amazing. He got the best sports equipment to play with. If you take the soccer ball with you, no one else will get to play. That's okay. I'm VIM. I'm banning all sports that don't include me. Why are you not outside? Reading is my favorite way to relax. Oh no, that won't work at all. People need to pay attention to me. I'm VIM. I hate to do this, but books are banned. No more books. He even decided what to build during building time. And when he was missing a few pieces... much better. Your block pieces went to the VIM. Are you having fun being the VIM? Katie asked. Oh, yes. I love being important. Let me show you something then. A mirror? It's a special mirror for VIMs. The teacher lent it to me when I was VIM last week. When you look into it, imagine you're talking to the reflection, like they were someone else. What do they say? Mojo looked in the mirror. He heard a familiar voice. Hey you! Mojo's reflection said. My ribbon's too small. Get a bigger one. VIMs don't have small ribbons. What's wrong with you? Can't you do that yourself? I'm the VIM! Do it! What's wrong, Mojo? What did the reflection say? He was so mean. Kept saying how important he was. Am I being mean? I'm sure you're not a mean monster, Mojo, but a better question might be, are you being respectful? Was Mojo not being respectful? Was that different from being mean? What do you think?
Now that is an interesting question indeed. All right. Why did Katie show Mojo the special VIM mirror? What was she trying to get him to realize? Why did she show him that? Answer that question in your breakout room. When you get back, I will be calling on you randomly to share. Here we go. All right. Question was, why did Katie show Mojo the special VIM mirror? Why did she have to show that to him? Why did she have to say, hey, Buster boy? Christopher, how come?
Because Mojo was kind of being mean and not letting people do what they want to do.
Yeah, he wasn't letting people have their own choices. He was saying my choices are the ones that count. Terrence, something to add?
He wasn't being respectful. He was just thinking about himself.
Yeah, there was a lot of selfishness going on inside of Mojo that day, thinking about what he wanted. Aiden Hampton, something to add?
He was bragging about his stuff and acting like all his other things was like valuable of other anyone like other objects.
Yeah, he was. There was a lot of bragging and a lot, we call that self-importance, thinking that our self is more important than others. Very good. So Katie was trying to do a reality check with him and say, hey, buddy, you're being a jerk. Listen up. All right, next question for you to discuss. Think of a time someone treated you the way Mojo treated his friends. Think about a time someone else acted like they were more important than you. How did it make you feel? So think about a time someone treated you the way Mojo treated his friends, and how did it make you feel? Alrighty, welcome back. You were asked to think of a time that someone treated you the way Mojo treated his friends. So a time that someone else pretended or behaved like they were more important than you. And how did that make you feel? So a time that happened to you, and how did it make you feel? Leah, what about you, sis? Anybody ever treated you that way before?
I know they have, but I just don't remember.
Okay, so you remember the feeling. How does it feel when someone thinks that they're more important than you?
It feels like really sad and annoying because they think they're the boss of you.
Yeah, definitely. So there's some kind of sadness and some annoyance there, right? Sad that like, man, why are you treating me like this? But then annoyed, like, that's not how you should treat other people. Awesome. Josh, what about you? Have you ever been treated like that before? Well, that's good. So you feel like the people in your life had a pretty even tone with people? Awesome. I am happy for you in that. Aiden Hampton, how about you, bud?
So my 13.
Terrence, we'll let you go while he finds that. Go ahead, Terrence.
Huh?
We'll let you go while Aiden comes back.
Okay. One time I felt like that as when I was at school, and I felt fine because I didn't really care.
Okay. So that happened to you at school. What was it? A teacher? Was it a student? Okay. We'll let Terrence finish up. A student treated you that way? Do you remember the situation?
Yes.
What was it?
I wanted to get on a swing, and I asked, can I get on the swing? And he said no, so I just walked away.
Okay. Yeah. The playground is a big time where this happens, where kids are serious about their playtime and what they want. Yep. Aiden Hampton, go ahead, bud.
Okay, so my 13-year-old cousin, I thought he would want to play with me, and he had other friends his age, and he said, I got new friends and I don't want to play with you because you're just a loser and you don't do fun stuff like us. So he didn't want to play with me.
Wow. How did that make you feel?
It made me feel really sad. I just wanted to do something to him, but he's older than me.
Mm-hmm. So we had to kind of check our own feelings, right? Like it's not right for me to do something back to him to make him feel the same way, but that's definitely something that we feel like is appropriate in that moment, right? Mm-hmm. So that's where there we go. That's where those second steps lessons of making sure that we're calming ourselves, that we're naming our emotions can really help us when we get in situations like this. Thanks for sharing, Aiden. Levin, your hand's up.
I have a 15-year-old cousin. So I'm always being nice to him and all that. Then he kind of bullies me for no reason. And I kind of say, get away from me, midget.
And how does that make you feel when he's talking like he's more important than you?
It makes me feel very upset.
Yeah, upset. Upset is a great word to describe that.
No, it doesn't make me upset. I'm just a little frustrated.
Frustrated, sure, because we know, like, wow, I don't deserve to be treated like this. This isn't kindness. This doesn't feel right. Thanks for sharing, Levin.
Have you ever got treated that way?
I have been treated that way, yes. So just like you guys, I have family members. My sister and I, when we were younger, we would kind of treat each other that way, right? Like I would treat her that way too, just because we were growing and we were learning how to appropriately be social. And then I felt that way sometimes in different jobs that I've had. I used to work for a clothing company, and we had one man who was my boss, and he called me one day. It was my day off, and I was with my family. We were actually having a family cookout, and he called me, and he was like, "Hey, you need to come in." I said, "Hey, man, it's my day off. I'm not even scheduled for on call or anything." And he was like, "Well, yeah, but I had something come up, so you got to come in." And I was like, "Man, I'm sorry, but I'm with my family. I got to stay with my family today." And he just didn't understand that and felt like what he was doing was more important. So that was kind of a scary situation for me, because at that point, it was someone who was in charge of me and in authority. So it felt kind of like I don't really know how to stand up for this and make sure I keep my job and all that, but it wasn't fun. So yes, I have been treated that way. Thanks for asking. All right, our last question that you are going to discuss in your breakout rooms. Was Mojo not being respectful? Is that different from being mean? So what do you think? Is there a difference between disrespectful and being mean? We'll talk about that with your breakout rooms. Question is, was Mojo not being respectful, and is that different from being mean? What are your thoughts? Is being disrespectful different than being mean, or is it the same? Aiden Hampton?
Yeah, it is because, well, it's not the same thing because being mean is like you don't care about anybody. You're being selfish, and respectful is you're being kind and you don't and you're showing love.
I think that's a really important distinction. When we're trying to be mean, we don't care about that other person or how they're feeling. When we have a moment where we've been disrespectful, we might not realize that that's how we're behaving, right? So Mojo didn't realize that until he saw the mirror and he was like, whoa, that's not being respectful. So I think that's a really important distinction. Mean, you don't really care about the person. Being disrespectful, it's not kind, but you might not be aware that that's a problem, right? Great distinction. Terrence, what are your thoughts?
No, it's not the same thing because being respectful is actually going up to the person and being nice and saying, "Do you want this? Do you want that?" And being mean or not respectful is like saying going up to them and saying, "Go do that."
Yeah, so being respectful is, I like how you said, "Can I do this for you? What do you need?" Is serving other people and is thinking about how can I make their life easier. When we're being mean, we're thinking about how can we make our life easier, thinking of others first. Aiden G, close us out. What are your thoughts?
That being mean is like taking stuff away and not treating people right. But being disrespectful is saying something mean.
Okay, so yeah, there might be some actions that go along with it when we're mean, and then disrespectful a lot of times can be with our tone, the way that we sound. We can also be pretty disrespectful with our faces, right? Like if someone says something and our face goes, or we roll our eyes, right? Those can be disrespectful tones as well. Aiden Hampton?
I have a doctor's appointment at 1:30, so I'm not gonna be there at my specials.
Okay, thanks for letting me know. All right, so we have spent today talking about Mojo and being respectful. Today, he recognized a problem and he said, whoa, I have not been being fair and being kind to my classmates and to those around me. We will see next week how he chooses to solve that and to fix that. But I would like to challenge you guys to look at your own behavior, look at your own words, look at your own expressions, and make sure that you are aware of, am I sounding respectful or am I coming across in a disrespectful manner?